Everyone tells you to pack your suitcase, build your block your account, with the money, book your visa, get everything ready. But no one really tells you, you know what, you're going to experience some of these things here. Or maybe some people do. And some of us actually underestimate it. You're just like, just bring me abroad, I beg, we go run out. Oh my gosh, guys. But yeah, I just want to come here, not to scare you, but of course, just to let you know some things that you should just mentally prepare for. Because it's more about preparing your heart and your mind, aside from preparing your suitcase, your documents, and everything that you need here. Welcome to another interesting video where I talk about the unconventional things that I think we should consider if you're ever thinking about coming abroad. If you're abroad too, you can also comment about your experience here. But in this video, this is based on what I have experienced, what I've seen happen, people I've spoken to, and just their experience in general. My first point is you need to learn how to be ignored without taking it personally. In your home country, you're seen, sometimes even loved before you're seen, like before they even know you. But here, you are kind of invincible until you've proven otherwise. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people have their own experiences where they kick it off with people really quickly, and people are more open to them, also depending on their personalities. And for me, I came from my country being an extrovert or an ambivert, kind of. And then I came here and I'm like, what? I'm an introvert. Yeah, I'm an introvert. Because what's going on, right? And it just helps you lower your expectations. When sometimes you could even say hi to people, like outrightly, hello, good morning, guten Morgen. And some people are going to be like, I think that's still one. I think that's still one culture shock that I would never get over. The fact that I would accurately say hello and you do not respond back. I think it's just something that beats me to today, and it happens a lot here. Some people would obviously not hold your hands. There's not a lot of hand holding here, and I think that's why many times when people come abroad, they hold on to their community people from back home. People have mentioned how some community members from back home screwed them over, stuff like that, and sometimes that can make you a bit scared to even want to make friends. But please don't be scared, because the truth is that not everybody's experience is the same. You could meet some people from Nigeria, for example, who hold your hands, genuinely love you, and walk you through the journey being here or being in any foreign country. And I'm sure so many people have amazing testimonies regarding that. And yeah, it's just one of the things you should consider. Some of us might need to drop the prestige mindset. Nobody really cares what you've done in the past, where you've worked, and all of that. Now, it depends on who you meet. Some companies, of course, if you're coming in as an expert, they would care because, of course, we're hiring you because of so and so experience you have. What value are you bringing to us? But maybe in a social setting, where it's not, not a professional setting, nobody might really send you like that. I think the most you can even hear is, oh wow, that's cool. But it ends there. Nobody's like, oh my goodness, I think back home in Nigeria, you could hear someone say, okay, you know what, I work with CBN. And you're like, bros, I beg, did they hire for your company? I beg, stuff like that. But here, it's not like they can't ask you, oh, but that's even from your past. But here, I've also noticed that many people, talk to people, interact with people, and they're like, okay, I work in this company, and they're like, oh, cool. Can I get a reference from you in case my skills match any, job role in your company platform? And sometimes people get referrals like that, but that prestige mindset that, oh my God, once they hear where I'm working, once they know who I am, that you don't know who I am. Hi, I even hated that thing back home in Nigeria. That you don't know who I am. Do you know who I am? Like, I think it's Charlie Poppy that said, inside your Evia, another Evia day inside. So, even in Nigeria, when you say, do you know who I am? There are other people that are like, do you know who I am? And, they will not be wrong. But, not to digress, but the whole point is that everybody's somebody. and everybody knows someone that could help them or something, 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 they can pull some strings in some way. Not like some other people do, maybe with power and some other things, but some people, they will pull strings in other aspects. Let's not go into it. So let's try to be respectful of everyone and be doing our things so that we don't go and jam the one that is bigger than us. Okay. Learn to ask for help clearly and without apology. I think this is something that I also had to learn, because sometimes you think that some people are anticipating your needs on your behalf. That is not the case. Nobody really knows what is really wrong with you. And if you don't open up your mouth to speak up and ask for help, you will just be there wallowing in silence. And there's something that Papa used to tell us back in CU. He says, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. People always also say it like, a closed mouth do not get fed. And that is such a real thing. You have to be able to advocate for yourself. You have to be able to ask questions. And don't get me wrong, sometimes some people will say, hey, don't worry, you can ask me questions, just drop in your questions. And when you ask your question, they're like, that is such a dumb question. I think it's something that I'm also trying to learn, that no question is a dumb question. If I have a question, I'm going to ask that question. And if you're not able to answer me, I think it's okay to let me know, but don't make me feel like, this your question, say, you get a CB, you don't get a CB. If I don't understand them, I don't understand them. Okay? Just answer me. If you cannot help me, please point me to the direction where I can find help. And I think this will just help you to not have any hard feelings. Just receive your, ask your questions in peace. Don't be scared. Open up. Timidity will not get anybody anywhere here. I think that's another thing I'm learning. You're gonna advocate for yourself. Yes, whether they like it or whether they don't like it, ask your questions. Ask away. My next point will be your accent. It might become your insecurity, but you can make it your power. Coming back home from Nigeria, of course, many of us had consumed a lot of Western content. And at some point, I was even speaking, there's a way you watch American movies, you start trying to speak like them, like, oh my God, hello, what's going on, ain't it, And you realize, I fell in love with myself coming here. Let me say that. It made me realize that whoever I am, the composition of who Henrietta is as a Black woman is a confidence booster for me. And I'm just saying this to let you know that you do not have to change yourself. Your accent, all those things, like, be proud of who you are. Be proud of your accent. Be proud of the language you speak. Be proud of the color that you have on your skin, because you are beautiful. And if you come here feeling inadequate, you might actually get lost at some point, especially when you come across a place. Back home in Nigeria, we could be in a room and then you have one white person, right? And in the white person, you're like, oh my God, nice. But you might not get the same reaction coming here where you're like, oh my God, you're the only Black person here, wow. You might not necessarily get that. But my whole point of this is just to say that do not shrink yourself. Your accent, your skin color, your person, your composition, your knowledge from back home makes you who you are. And you should embrace it as much as possible. Because if all of us are eating jollof rice every day, we'll be tired. That's why we need variety. Variety, they say, is the spice of life. Loneliness is such a huge thing. It has taken so many lives. It has taken so many people's spark. Learn how to be alone. Learn how to just exist. Or live. In fact, not exist. Please learn how to live without having to gather a bunch of people to help you live. And I'm saying this to say that when you learn how to manage your loneliness, you create fun for yourself. You get to meet up with people. You are content with yourself. You don't even allow yourself be in toxic environments, like with toxic friendships, just because I want them to invite me out. They show up, they show myself. Like, you have to be able to create some form of fun for yourself. Things that don't align with you, don't align with them. The ones that align with you, gladly align with them. But that's just like my whole point. Learn to be alone. And hopefully this loneliness here doesn't creep in to become something else. Amen. And I think this is one point that, in as much as we talk about mental health a lot, some of us are not still open to therapy. My next point is you may need therapy. You may need to talk to someone. And just to put this out there, therapy does not mean that you're a mad person. It doesn't mean that you're crazy. Sometimes in fact, therapy is self-care for some people. And talking to somebody that doesn't know you, is a neutral party, may give you a different kind of understanding about yourself, your situation, and just know how to manage things in general. It would help you also see from a different perspective to know what you're going through, and just allow you to say, you know what, maybe I need to do better in this aspect. Maybe I need to do this and that. So the fact that you need a therapist does not mean that you're mad. Sometimes you just need a different perspective. And then some of us may not have, be able to afford the amount of money regarding therapists and professionals. ChatGPT is there to help you. ChatGPT can become your therapist. ChatGPT is also some people's best friends. And they are also I think the amazing thing about ChatGPT is that you can use it the way you want. You can use ChatGPT in a way that, okay, you want it to be sucking up to you. You can do that. You want it to give you straight points that is not it's not basically as kissing you. You can also do that. So maybe you should tap into the use of AI to also preserve your mental health. Another thing is, some of us come here with a plan. And of course, it doesn't mean that your plan is bad, but I think this is maybe another point I would like to add. I think we should be able to be flexible with our plans, because many of us come from back home with an idea of, I want to study this. I think growing up is also, or maturing, like they would say, is also realizing that you have to go with the flow of what is in vogue. Many of us can come from our country saying, I want to study theater art, I want to do this. But then you have to think about life after theater art studying. Will I find a job? Will I find internships? Will I find somebody that is willing to hire me? And if you're going to go to a country where you don't speak the language, best believe that all the there are certain jobs that you can't find with just English. For instance, if you want to be a theater arts, like an actor or something, you're going to Germany. You know that you have to speak the German language. They're not going to be acting English films here. Maybe they would, but think about that aspect. Also, you want to look at courses. In fact, I think before you even decide on the course you want to study, probably go and search on the job market first. What are the what are the roles that managers or companies are hiring for? What are they looking for? How can I get this skill set to position myself better for better opportunities? I think that would allow you to streamline your application processes. It will allow you to also know and feel confident in in the course that you've chosen for yourself. And not everybody is lucky. Of course, there are many STEM courses that are, being promoted these days. IT, engineering, especially in Germany, engineering is such a big, industry, the IT field and all of that. And even the more, conversant you are with this field, the chances of you getting a job in English is even higher compared to, jobs that require you to speak German on a day-to-day basis. So just saying. I'm going to talk about in another video some buttress more on this point, but yeah, these are just some things this is one point I think should be considered just going forward. I hope that I was able to touch on some interesting points, and if you have any addition to some points that I've mentioned, please comment down below in the comment section. Let us talk about it, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.